all in all, it was a most fabulous atmosphere that I think I've ever encountered on the Watercress Line.
It's been a real privilege to be part of the team that's delivered the event. I think we've seen the railway at its best.
Seeing everybody pull together and the energy that creates amongst the team, everyone wants to be on a winner, let's face it, and that generates a bit of an energy when people are really excited about how it's going and can see it's a success.
So we've just kissed bye to the Flying Scotsman, and what a fantastic celebrity she was coming to perform here at the Watercress Line. We had 5 running days and 6 static days, and it was pretty much a full house. We had more than 8,000 people coming down, which for us at this time of year is absolutely incredible. They were doing all kinds of things, ranging from coming for a ride behind Flying Scotsman through to having a really intimate experience with our partners Nikon and our wonderful film unit, who put together an evenings of photography in a controlled lighting environment. So it was absolutely everything, and then thousands more people lining the route to come and see Scotsman in our area, which particularly in our beautiful South Downs landscape just looked fantastic.
It was pretty amazing, to be honest. We've had 11 days of Flying Scotsman, we've had 5 running days, and then we've had sort of midweek turns with static days for people to view the engine in the yard. So yeah, it's been a pretty full-on event. Obviously the engine arrived by rail, so there was a fair bit of logistics of getting it in and settled in, and it left on Monday. The HST power cars came in on Sunday to collect it, and it went by Birmingham to York, and I think is on display in the National Rail Museum as we speak. So it's a bit of a whirlwind.
So with this kind of event, so naturally the carriages are really important. They actually ran 8,850 miles worth of running, which is actually just over a third of the Earth's circumference. Looking at it from an engineering perspective, the fleet delivered 450 hours worth of reliable running, which is really important. That meant that we could run a reliable and punctual service. So the majority of the services departed on time. The latest Scotsman departure from Alresford was only 8 minutes late. So when we consider the amount of people that were moving about across the site, the amount of complexities that we had from an operational perspective, from a retail catering perspective, everything lumped in, that kind of service reliability is really quite impressive for us as a team to deliver.
It's a little bit like an iceberg. You see the bit that you see, but there's an awful lot more behind it. To be honest, planning for this has gone on for months and months, probably 6 months in truth, of sort of planning, from arranging contracts, arranging the rail moves in and out, timetabling, sort of planning, getting everything lined up for it, crew diagrams, timetabling. I won't bore you with it, but there's a massive amount that is unseen. On the outside world, it just happens, but the reality of it is, there's a phenomenal amount. That's by the time we actually start the event, we're 9 times out of 10 we're actually starting to plan the next thing, because you're actually always got this sort of cyclic thing. We're halfway through Flying Scotsman and we're already sort of trying to sort the diesel gala out, or whatever it is, because there's such a long burn on making these arrangements.
So we wanted to make our Scotsman experience a whole day of experience rather than just a ride behind Flying Scotsman, because one of the things that many of us absolutely love is actually watching the locomotives from a distance, not just riding behind. And we felt that it was really key to the experience to make sure that people had that. So we learned lots of lessons, not only from the last time Flying Scotsman was here in 2020, but also we tested out a few things during the visit of Sir Nigel Gresley back in October. And then we put onto the case some of our volunteers who'd done the original Flying Scotsman in 2020, as well as the new team. And they came up with an absolutely amazing feeder proposal that allowed us to make the best possible use of our new Class 150 to bring people into the feeder service so that there wasn't carnage at any of our stations. It was really relaxed. It was really easy to take fantastic photographs of the Flying Scotsman from a little bit of a distance, as well as getting on board, to come up to Ropley and see all the engineering that goes behind these incredible locomotives, to sit and watch the Scotsman go thundering under the bridge that it starred with on on the 39 steps, which was an original bridge from the movie. We made sure that people were able to really make the most of the day, and then we were really thrilled that they did make the most of the day. So we had packed house all the time, and that was one of the reasons we used this very innovative feeder service, because we knew that people were going to hang about, make the most of it, and then they would be able to make sure that we didn't create absolute carnage in our local villages, because we've got quite constrained parking here at the Watercress Line.
I think we set out to run a world-class event, and I think with the combination of our staff and volunteers, we've delivered that. I think that everyone can stand that little bit higher and walk away from the railway with a great amount of success and pride based on what they were able to deliver. Having said that, we need to remember that there's still always room for improvement, and as we go through the customer feedback and the staff and volunteer feedback, we'll make sure that that's built in for the future. We also need to remember that Easter Bunny is just around the corner. The April Gala is not that far away, and so just as we draw a breath because we finished Scotsman, now we'll head down into the rest of the year and making it a cracking year for the railway.
I think fundamentally probably the biggest thing for me personally is seeing the place full up. You know, ultimately we've got to support the business. The business provides us all with a hobby and a passion. So by being able to fill the place up with people, and ultimately the till, it being really mercenary about it, that allows the hobby to keep going for the future. I think there's several standout bits. I think seeing the place full up to start with is a key one. Seeing everybody pull together and the energy that creates amongst the team. You know, everyone wants to be on a winner, let's face it. And that generates a bit of an energy when people are really excited about how it's going and can see it's a success. That then raises everybody's game. So you know there's a good atmosphere, morale's really high, which is really, really good. And I think also selfishly, having seen the 150 actually being used for what it was got for. You know, I mean, the train's been running around. It was doing like 24 trips a day up and down. You know, filling in between Alsford and Ropley. Absolutely chock-a-block, like a peak hour service. So, you know, and that has given us the opportunity to do that by having it. So, yeah, there's lots of little bits by having the tools to do that has been able to give us those opportunities to actually throw extra services in that can sort of buzz about moving people. You know, it's one of the few times a year, but the Watercress Festival's the other one, when we actually use the railway as a people mover. Often it's a leisure thing. You get on the train, you have a round trip from one end to the other, and that's your sort of history tour, if you like. Whereas in reality, over the Scotsman days, we were actually moving people for a purpose, you know, actually taking people. It's strange in this environment, very much like the outside world, when the trains are chock-a-block going one way and empty going the other. You know, normally in this place, people are on the train one way or another for the day. So yeah, it's a lot of sort of standout bits, really, in truth.
So my personal favourite memories are really of just being on the platform, watching everybody have a really great time and being beautifully looked after by all our platform staff. But also we were so lucky that the weather gods smiled on us, so the pictures were spectacular, and it was really encouraged people to come out and watch all, you know, and line the fields and the streets around us. You know, we obviously encourage people to do that very safely, but it gives that idea of the Flying Scotsman being a real celebrity, and when you're riding on board it makes you feel really special. And then the fact that many of our crews have never driven the Flying Scotsman before, and that's the thing that, you know, it must be the ultimate to be driving Flying Scotsman. And so to have that opportunity, and the Flying Scotsman team from the National Railway Museum and their contractor Northern Steam were incredibly generous in making sure that all of our team got a fair shot at a driving experience that you know, literally money can't buy. So all in all, it was a most fabulous atmosphere that I think I've ever encountered on the Watercress Line. And we have great fun here all the time. So just to top everything, I'm just really wondering what's going to do next.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to be part of the team delivering the event. I think that we really saw the railway at its best, and that everyone working together, we really put on a world-class event, and I think the feedback from our visitors is starting to tell us that.